Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning as we wrap up a week-long series that we always enjoy every year around this time. It's our Sunrise Viewers Thanksgiving Recipe Series. Again, this is the grand finale, and it's a sweet treat that I find tough to beat. It comes from a viewer in Southwest Portland. There we go, knocking at his door. Richard, please come to the door. Thank you, Richard. Richard led us inside to show us how he makes his chocolate-dipped almond horns. This is why we showed up to Richard's kitchen. These are his chocolate-dipped almond macaroons. So let me ask you, viewer Richard, are these something that you would normally have out for guests when they first arrive, or do you normally save these for dessert?
It depends on the crowd. If they're a young group of kids here, we'll put them out during the day. And if it's adults and older children, we put them on the dessert table.
So let's jump into the recipe, right? The first thing we're going to do is use that mixer behind us. What are we throwing in the mixer?
The first ingredient that goes in is almond paste. It comes as a block, so I cut into 1/4-inch pieces. I then mix it with the sugar until it's a smooth paste. Add the eggs, the almond flour, and then we're ready to shape it.
Now that we've got our macaroon mixture ready to go, we're going to blend it with the almonds. And I'm hoping this doesn't take too much skill.
I use a 1-ounce scoop so I get more cookies. You can use up to a 2-ounce scoop if you want. And then we scoop them, place them on top of the almonds, and then throw a couple almonds on top, put it in your hand, roll it into a small log, and bend it into a horn shape.
All right, so I got some almonds in this hand, my mixture in that hand.
Just keep
kind of
turning.
Mash it in there?
Squeeze them in with your fingers.
Squeeze it in there and roll it.
And roll it into a log.
And form it. Man, mine looks kind of puny. How long in the oven, Richard?
Start checking around 10 minutes. You don't want them to get too much color.
Got it. After we pulled them out of the oven, we let them cool down to room temperature. I've already had a few, as is, so to speak, and they are awesome. But we're going to take them to the next level by dipping them in chocolate. Richard, can you tell me how you tempered this chocolate?
This recipe calls for 300 grams of chocolate. So we take 2/3 and we put it in a double boiler up to about 110 degrees. Remove it from the double boiler, stir in the other 100 grams of chocolate, and once it's completely mixed, pick up a cookie. You can either dip one end or both ends at the same time, scrape off the excess and put them on the tray.
Richard saved the last one for me. I'm going to take a double dip on the front end.
Perfect.
I'm going to drag it on the back side so there's no excess. I'm going to leave it on my tray.
Just like a pro.
And this is what they look like when it's all said and done. May I have another bite?
Sure, go ahead.
I promise you, you eat one of these and all you can do is smile. You may recognize Richard. Richard was here a year ago, basically a year ago on this day. He wrapped up our viewers Thanksgiving recipe series last year. He had that
I remember.
awesome, he had a tort.
Yeah, I was going to say tart, but tort.
It was a tort, not a tart, but a tort.
Tort.
Yeah. And it was delicious. Remember that? I feel like you were off that day.
I think I was.
Okay, so you missed out on the tort, but you're here for the cookies.
Yes.
And I had to ask Richard, because when he sent in the recipe, he was calling them macaroons, and maybe they are. But then when he sent the recipe in, he's called them horns. And I looked up online, and apparently that is a common name. I never heard of them before. Almond horns. They're awesome. So he's going to be here in about an hour to show them off.
Also pronounced macaroon, macaron.
Yeah,
those
that's
the same
different
thing?
though.
I thought
Macaroons and macaron are different.
Yeah, they're different. I knew that. I knew that.
I did that too. Oh yeah, we got to do this. I forgot the key ingredient in the recipe segment. If you want that recipe for the horns, you can check it out my Drew Carney KGW TV Facebook page. Look for that picture. The recipe's there in detail. And oh, by the way, Ron, you can also, you know what to do. Text the word recipe to that number on your screen, and we're going to send you all the recipes that were featured this week. Well, if you've been watching Sunrise this week, I think you know we've had a ton of fun with this segment. And while I'm always happy that it's Friday, this Friday is actually a little sad because it means the end of this year's Sunrise Viewers Thanksgiving Recipe Series. The good news is we are going out with a bang, courtesy of a viewer named Richard. So last hour, we took you inside his home there in Southwest Portland, where he showed us how to make these terrifically tasty Thanksgiving treats. This hour, Richard is here in the studio, live with us right now, and the treats are known as his chocolate-dipped almond horns. Every time I say horns, Richard, I feel like I had to do this with my hands. Horns. But we also refer to them as chocolate-dipped almond macaroons.
Macaroons,
So
correct.
that's an interchangeable term there.
It isn't. It's because they're made with almonds.
Okay.
Almond paste or a macaroon.
So you're still doing some dipping this morning. We actually have some video again that we can show from inside your kitchen. Can you talk about this recipe? For starters, they're so tasty. They're so awesome. Everyone in the studio who's had one already is raving about how great they are. But it's also a pretty simple recipe. Can you just give us a couple of the nuts and bolts?
It's very simple and it's gluten-free. It's made with almond paste that you can get at Winco. It's one of the few places you can still get it in town. We use Bob's Red Mill almond flour and sugar. That's it.
Wow.
There's also 1 egg white in each batch.
When I was in your kitchen, filming the kitchen part of this segment, how many cookies do you think I had that day?
We made a separate batch just to cover what you were doing. So
You're like addictive.
we get about 24 of these per box of almond paste.
You and I have to slide over because look, the gang is starting to filter in now. Christine and Brenda and Rod have already had one cookie. Feel free to have
So
another. But
good.
your-
Sneak attack.
Your thoughts on the cookies, gang?
Oh my gosh, not only the flavor, but which is amazing with the almond paste for sure, but also the texture. I love the texture. It's a little chewy on the inside, crunchy on the outside.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I don't even know how to describe it. The layers of flavor are off the chart delicious.
Yes.
I love almonds. So
It's a winner.
You're already there with me. The chocolate on the end's great too.
I want to have some of that. That looks good.
The chocolate. I want to give a nod to your dad. So Richard's father was a baker in Germany
Correct.
and came over here at some point and opened up a bakery here as well.
Late 40s.
And you obviously picked up a lot from your dad.
I had no choice.
But man, you go to Richard's kitchen and this thing is dialed in. I mean, you've got all the necessary tools to put this together. See, I wouldn't be able to probably pull this off as well as you because I don't even have one of those weights, those scales, I mean.
Everybody should have a kitchen scale.
Okay.
And a bathroom scale.
I threw my bathroom scale
Eating
out.
all this.
After Thanksgiving, you take that bathroom scale, you take it out of there, and you don't look at that for about a week, right? You don't want to do that. Go ahead, Chris.
That looks beautiful.
I know.
That is like beautiful.
I'm torn here because these recipes, we don't have
It was supposed to be about this.
It was supposed to be about this. But it's a dessert table.
Tell me about that pie, and tell me about that cake.
So the Jolie pie, as we call it, it's named after my sister Jolie. She worked in my father's bakery like the other 4 children. And it's a walnut meringue bottom with chocolate mousse. And it's been a family staple at every holiday. It started at Thanksgiving, and we have it at every celebration. And for Thanksgiving, we make my father's chocolate pecan pie that he used to only make for the hotels in Syracuse when I was growing up.
Really?
Here's what's going to happen because this happens all the time when people bring extras. We love it, but viewers will ask, can we get those recipes too? Is it
Absolutely.
possible? Okay, so we don't have them up right now. Later today, I will post both the pie and the cake recipes. We've already got the macaroon recipe. Check this out. If you go to my Drew Carney, KGW TV Facebook page, you will find that picture of Richard and I enjoying our chocolate-dipped almond horns, and then you'll see the entire recipe spelled out. And also, get this, Richard, you should do this. If you text the word recipe to that number on your screen, we will actually feed you back a link to all of this week's recipes, Rod.